Hey, my name is Keenan. This is the Clubhouse. I'm gonna let everybody go around. Yeah. I'm gonna let everybody go around, introduce themselves, then we're gonna get into it. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah.
Hi, I'm Morgan.
Hi, I'm Lyric.
Hi, I'm Nisi.
Hi, I'm Ariel.
Hi, I'm Kaden.
I'm Aaliyah.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right. So today we will be talking about what is revenge and what's a time that you would like to get revenge. You would have liked to get revenge, but you didn't. It's gonna be open to conversation. If anybody wants to hop in, we can. If not, we can go right into it.
I think revenge is basically getting like payback on somebody, or if they did you wrong, you're gonna want to do something to hurt them as well.
Right. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No?
I have.
Okay. Let's go.
Hi, guys. So one time that I wanted to pursue my revenge was when me and one of my classmates were taking a test and they decided to cheat off of me. So I wrote down all the wrong answers and it made them turn in their test and it switched all of mine to the right ones. They got a 0, I got a 100, and I feel like it was fair.
Would you do it again?
No.
You would have handled it differently?
Yes.
How do you think you would handle it now?
I would move my seat.
It's very valid. Lyric? No? Do I have one?
Yeah.
Ooh. Do I have one? I think I do. So there was this time that one of my friends had got into a fight and it got pretty bad, and I wanted to jump in and do something about it, but I had to let God handle it. I was getting different signs to let God handle it, so I let God handle it. And yeah, I'm very glad I didn't make any stupid decisions. And yeah, but I do know somebody to the right of me that has a.
All right, well, for the old guy, they call me Unk in here. Brother Javon, some of y'all might know. I guess I told him this story a little while back when we was talking about revenge, and I'm not proud of it, but in the 90s when I was, young male, I was dating this young lady, and me and my boys, we went and picked up, her and her girls, and we supposed to be going to a party, but when we got to this party, it was only like 2 guys there, and they had their girls there, and our girls stayed with the guys. So I just played cool, and then what I did was I told her I wanted to come pick her up and take her to King's Dominion, and I left her. And that was wrong in retrospect, but yeah, I took her to King's Dominion and I left her, and that was my get back.
So you were the chauffeur.
Would you have
You were the
handled
Uber
it
driver.
differently today?
Yes, I would not have left her at King's Dominion. I would have not picked her up. I just would have let her go and let God.
Right, and that's what it's all about. Let God handle these things. So I think we're gonna go into the story of John the Baptist now.
Okay.
What we talking about?
So the way we got on the story of John the Baptist, where we are at, we're seeing a lot of younger people do very senseless things. Really, and a lot of the time it's just for, things like we all mentioned, getting your get back, getting revenge. You can put it in a million different terms. But basically we're trying to show people that there's an alternative to getting your revenge personally. There's a way to let God handle it. So that's what this story is that's what we're trying to get out of this story. The story is going to be a little more than that, but you guys will be able to hear it in just 1 second.
Okay.
Nisi, you want to lead the story?
So key points is from the beginning. John the Baptist's parents, Zachariah and Elizabeth, they were getting pretty old at the time, and Zachariah was in the temple, and an angel came to him, Gabriel, right? Gabriel came to him and told him that you are going to have a son, and he is going to lead many people to God, and you're going to name him John. He did not believe it. He was just like, no, like there's no proof, like it's not going to happen, because Elizabeth was getting older, and since he was doubting him and what he was saying, that angel had silenced him until John was born. And when he exited the temple, he could not, and he was just trying to like do motions to try to communicate to people, and people were just getting the hint that like he was silenced. Do you want to add on to that part? No? No. Okay. So then when John was born, you know, he ended up baptizing people, and Jesus had asked him to baptize him in the river of Jordan. And at first he was kind of like, you should be the one baptizing me. Like he didn't feel worthy enough to baptize him, but he did end up getting baptized by him. And then, yeah, that's on that part.
All right, I'm gonna stay on that for a second. I'm gonna stay on the part you said worthy. I feel like a lot of us, like, I feel like everybody really goes through not feeling worthy of doing a certain thing. Anybody have a time that you want to tell about that? Anything, like, I'm like, there is a lot of stuff that we all can do, but we doubt ourselves.
Oh, for sure. I think even like looking back at it, I kind of regret it, but I used to play basketball, and one of my biggest things was like I didn't feel like I was good enough to play, and I was always doubting myself when I was on the court, and like I couldn't handle it.
Let me tell you something. I play basketball every Saturday night, and I suck, but I just love playing. Like I love playing it, but like no, for sure, like the doubt is real, especially when it comes to things like sports too. Mm-hmm. You can doubt yourself a lot, but then you start doing stuff, you know, you step out of your box, you start feeling like, wow, what was I ever scared of, really?
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I started doing nails. Like I was very scared, and like taking people in and like doing random people's nails and like clients, I was like, yeah, like they probably left and felt like I did a terrible job. In the beginning, it was rough. And then like when I started getting better, I was like, wow, like I don't know, like, because honestly, when I first started doing nails, I stopped. Like I actually quote unquote quit. I even the second time after I opened up my Instagram and everything, I took like months break. I was just like, nah, but I just be thinking back to that. Like, what if I just never continued? Like, I would even have the chance to grow and like get better at it.
Right now, everybody talking about nails by DC and
nails by DC.
But yeah. Like, no, it's like seriously, message to whoever's watching, like, do that thing you're scared to do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because it's most likely gonna work out for you. Know, music, clothing brands, nails, hair, all the above. You know, do what you gonna do.
Do you?
Can I give a little story?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be quite honest with y'all. When I was working with y'all, very unsure of myself because I've made a lot of mistakes in life and things like that. And I was like, I got tattoos and blah, 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 blah. You know, will they take me seriously? You know, not a teacher. I used to stutter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the scriptural person. You know what I'm saying? I have dyslexia. Like, how can I do this? And what I do generally is before I come in here is I just pray and put it in God's hands. So, you know, as adults, we go through that too. So it's not just y'all, like, on some real, like, like, no, I don't want to do this, like, real. You know what I'm saying?
I think, like, when people are scared, it's more like a mental thing. Like, people might not judge you who's around you, but it might just be you, but, like, is this good enough? Am I doing enough? And, like, not everybody's thinking. Somebody might be like, ooh, those nails look nice. Oh, Keenan is all right. He's all right at basketball.
Hey, if I ever hear anybody say I'm all right at basketball, I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know.
Hey, Uncle might be like, okay, Uncle's good at teaching. I'm pretty sure we all think that because I think that.
For sure.
But, like, in anybody else's mind, like, in your mind, you would be like, oh, I don't think they like that lesson. Oh, that was a bad throw.
Right, and there's this.
Oh, I don't really like that nails. Whole time the person's like, oh, I like this. Oh, Kine, you made that free throw. Unc, I love that lesson. So it's just all mental, and you got to get over that.
For sure, because one thing is, like, there is 1,000 different versions of you that lives in somebody else's head. You know, that's
like you never had a really original experience.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like we're more worried about other people viewing us more than we're worried about ourselves and our happiness.
Yeah.
And just to throw in, I mean, what we should be concerned about is how God views us at the end of the day. To bring it back, we have to be worried about how he views us at the end of the day.
For sure. And I think that even still ties in with the whole revenge, get back thing like that. Because in reality, like, none of those terms would have even became a thing if it wasn't for somebody wanting to look cool, look a certain way to somebody else. You know, like, so let's put your ego aside. That's another thing that'll connect to this lesson. When it comes to you wanting to get revenge, getting get back, all those things, put your ego to the side first, then make the decision. Because I'll say more than 75% of the time, like your ego will get you in trouble.
To tie in what you said about ego, scripture
16, 18.
says that pride before destruction and haughtiness before a fall.
Go into detail about that. Oh, okay. Basically, like if you have
Basically, like what goes around comes around.
yeah, what goes around comes around. Yeah, you reap what you sow. And do you want time to it? Oh yeah, you reap what you sow. So like when you have a big ego and you have a lot of pride about things, and it's basically gonna come back to you in like a negative way. That's what I took from the verse, basically.
And Proverbs 16, verse 19 says, better to live humbly with the poor than share plunder with the proud. Basically, what I get from this is like, if you live humbly, it's like you're more humble, so you're most likely to like.
You reap what you sow.
Basically, it's basically like the same thing. But either way, humble goes way more than being prideful. Prideful doesn't really get you anywhere. You might think that you're better than everybody else, and nobody's really. Everybody's mostly equivalents. Everybody's under God. Yes.
Indeed. Like I feel like, yeah, like in the world, you want to put your pride into the world and all that other stuff, Yeah, in the world you might look amazing. You might be amazing to the world, but when it comes to the kingdom of God, like again, like there's plenty of people that had amazing hearts that didn't make it to heaven because you're simply not following the word of God, and nobody says it's gonna be easy, things like that, but it's something you still got to do at the end of the day. In pride, you got to kill the pride. It be strong, but you got to kill it.
For example, you could be the richest man in the world, but there can be someone who's very rich in wisdom of the Lord and of the Lord's scriptures and what he says and follows by what he believes. And the person who might be the richest man in the world is nowhere near equivalent to having the richest amount of wisdom from the Lord.
For sure. Especially if you don't break me off at least $1 million. Come on.
Really?
Boy,
Okay.
Tell us about this party that they threw. I heard they threw a party, but it ended up in somebody's head being on a platter.
Oh yes. Okay. So, there's a king. His name was Herod, and oh yeah, I think I remember. There's a king. His name was Herod, and he got with his brother's wife, and John the Baptist had something to say about it. He did not believe it was right, and he thought it was wrong, so he spoke up about it. And the king did not like that whatsoever. Even the wife did not like it whatsoever. So for the wife's daughter's birthday, he told her that I will basically give you whatever that you want. So her mom told her, request John the Baptist's head on a platter as revenge. Basically, you spoke about me and you spoke about our business that had nothing to do with you, so I want revenge. And the request was delivered. So he was beheaded, unfortunately.
There's a lot of controversy because a lot of people might say if John the Baptist just minded his business, his head will still be on his body. Others will say he did the right thing. And I feel like just as we learned, him going and like saying, I don't think this is right, is his purpose on the world. I feel like his purpose on the world was to show everybody wrongs and rights.
Exactly. And I mean, even to go off of that, like religion aside, like there's a lot of historical figures that got killed for doing the right things.
Yeah, because people didn't like their opinion.
Right. Off the top of my head, like Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King.
He got killed for doing the right thing. And that brought everybody together. And these are things that, yeah, back then it looked unacceptable. It was crazy. It was wild. Nowadays we have so much diversity. It's beautiful. And yeah, somebody sadly did have to die to get that, but it's a beautiful thing. So just like you were saying, yeah, like there are things, people are still dying today for doing the right things, but we are still seeing all the great results from that. You know, you can't stop what's destined to happen. You could try to shut down. You can try to make looking bad. You can try to make it look good all day long, but bad is bad at the end of the day, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come to the light. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. Correct.
Yes.
Right.
And the difference between nowadays and back then is back then a lot of people were scared to stand up and fight for what's right. But Martin Luther King wasn't, like you were saying. And today, people use those past experiences that people had to die for. Now, a lot of people didn't have to die. Maybe if everybody just came together, it would have been different. But like I said, John the Baptist had needed to be cut off to make a difference. So, for example, back to Martin Luther King. Because he died, a lot of people changed the way they see and act in today's world.
Let's just bring it down a little bit. So we're talking on a larger capacity. So how do y'all handle things when it's on a lower capacity, when you know that there's somebody talking about this kid in the class that might be a little awkward, that might have a stuttering problem or whatever? Do y'all stand?
Oh,
on
I
it?
say something for sure.
Or do you, I mean, like how does that work out? Can y'all like show like how y'all would handle that type of situation?
I think it's pretty simple. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't control people's actions, and they're gonna do what they want to regardless. You can only try to widen their perspective, like widen their viewpoint, kind of. I remember, like, especially growing up in like most of our schools, they have like special needs program, and I had a class that was like right next door to a special needs room. So like the walls are thin. You're always hearing them, you know, being loud, interacting, all that. And everyone's laughing, making noise, trying to recreate the noise, all that. And it's simply not funny. But like, there's not much you can do. Like, I feel like I would say, like, you know, that's not funny. Like, imagine if that was your sibling in that position, or if that was someone that was your family and that you knew like that. You know what I mean? And they're just never gonna really understand it. But I feel like that just comes with kind of wisdom. And if they want to understand, they can. But a lot of people are stubborn and their viewpoint is blocked, and they're just gonna do them. Like, you can only at least attack.
That's very valid, because I mean, even simple things like somebody's talking about your friends, like a lot of people will talk about your friends to you and not even know your friends. I mean, on another scale, just as being like a person, a human being, period, you have to watch what you say and who you say it to, people, like who you're saying it to. Because even if you do want to say something about somebody to somebody else, and they turn out being friends, you have to look at that as a life experience. Because some people will just keep dragging that type of stuff out. Like, they will drag it till they reach the last person on earth. You're like, wow, bro, you done told everybody and their mama about it. What's next in the story, you know? Right. For sure, I definitely feel like
I think it's ego. Like, you can't think that you're above everybody else.
Right.
You're talking about people because you think you're above them.
I'm really big on change. So, like, if I'm sitting in a classroom and somebody's making fun of anybody, I'm the type of person who's gonna be like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm serious though. Like, I'm the type of person where, like, if I see you sitting by yourself, I'm gonna be like, hi, my name is Ariel. Would you like to be friends? That's just my type of person.
Right, and I feel like in order, like, that's so great that you reach that, because like a lot of people won't reach that until they do something that's out of the box. Because like for me personally, like when I was in probably middle school, even beginning of high school, I wasn't really going for any certain goals until I reached music. When I started doing music, then I saw a lot of people that were doubting me and saying different things, but then I was seeing a lot of other people and they were loving it. So I'm like, if there's people making fun of me, if there's more people making fun of the person sitting in the back of the class that's not talking to anybody, like I know that people were looking at me the same way at one point in time, and I messed around and just flipped on it. So everybody, no matter what you look like, no matter if you're talking or not, like I'm gonna come say hello to you, because
Very much.
because a lot of people don't even see things in themselves because they're just being talked about so negatively, and that's spirits. Like, your tongue has power, for sure.
Very much.
So if you're speaking negativity into people all the time, yeah, for sure they're not gonna see what their own worth is until another person comes up to them like, hey, you want to do something as simple as a hello, a hey, can push people out of their shell and make them really do
Make their day.
right, some amazing things.
I agree. Like, even like sometimes if I'm having like a bad day and then out of nowhere, like someone comes up to me and tells me like, oh, you look pretty today, or like your outfit looks good, or oh, hey, like I just seen you sitting here, like, you know what's going on. Like that really makes or breaks my day. Like it makes my day when people like go out their way. It just shows that you care. And even if honestly, like, even if they don't really care, like it just shows that, oh, okay, I'm thinking about it. It's just like it makes people feel nice. And I feel like it doesn't cost you anything to make anybody feel good about themselves. Like that's
For sure. I mean, even celebrities, like, if you see any video of a celebrity that's surrounded by paparazzi and one person will say, "Hi, how are you doing today?" Say a nice compliment. Like, celebrities even get caught like off guard by that stuff because their life is so hectic and they're surrounded by people that always want something from them.
And paparazzi always, well, not always, but most of the time they focus on the bad parts about their life to
Right.
make views. But like, once again, asking somebody just like, how are you? Oh, you're pretty. I like your hair. I like your nails. How was your day? That can really change like their whole point of life. That can change their whole day, their whole mood. That can set their mood for the rest of the day and maybe tomorrow.
For sure.
Yeah, and I feel like with setting moods, like you can set somebody's attitude for like a long time. Like you can change people. It's like if you're like you were saying, like sitting in the back of the class, you feel like you're not worthy, and you're just surrounded by people giving negative compliments over and over again. That's what you're gonna learn, and you're gonna be the person going and being negative upon other
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
And John, man, too, you got to remember to give people grace.
Yeah.
A lot of times somebody might do something bad to you just because they've been done bad or something happened
Yeah.
to them. You know, when I was growing up, I was bullied and I became a bully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it took somebody, you know, showing me grace to like, yo, that's not right. You know? So I think a lot of times in that situation, we might shout out to Max. Max, we love y'all. Everybody say what's up to Max.
What's up, Max?
Max hated when we talk about he don't like the
Crashing out.
Crashing out.
But at the end of the day, yeah. So sometimes people crash out just because of what they've gone through. We don't know what the backstory is and things like that. And then what do? We respond.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Along the same way. So it just cycles. So
Yeah. To add on to that, like even how we were talking about like, okay, saying something nice can be someone's like, oh, you made their day. Even picking on someone and doing something bad to them, that could be their last straw. And I feel like you never know what someone's going through, so you should be cautious of what you're saying. Like, is it even really necessary? Or even how you say things. I feel like even if you're trying to deliver a message with like earlier, like when we're talking about, oh, when someone says, like make fun of someone, you're like, what's wrong with you? You can even change how you say that. Like, hey, like that's not quite nice to say to somebody. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like really how you deliver your point, because you never know how someone's going to take it into perspective. You just got to be very cautious.
For sure.
One more add-on, I promise.
Go ahead.
And I feel like the people who do the most bullying or just the people who like to pick on people are the people who've been picked on before. Like, the bullies may be hurt. They may hurt to the point where they just can't be nice to anybody because nobody was ever nice to them. I feel like if you're nice to one person, just be nice to all. Check on everybody, even if you don't know them. When I first came here, I didn't know anybody but Nisi. I mean, like, my family, like, what's up, guys?
Okay. Oh my goodness, bro.
No,
that
we're
was
not doing
hilarious.
anything,
Them
Clubhouse.
shirts. I'm sorry, the Clubhouse. The shirts were hilarious, though. Shout out
Yeah.
the shirts.
Shout out to shirts. But yeah, just be nice to everybody. Like, that's one thing you can go with. And like, positivity will never do you wrong. If you're nice to somebody, trust good rewards will come to you eventually in your
Sure.
life. And God will make sure of that.
For sure.
We have to really be careful on like who we surround ourselves by, because it can again be your own friends who are putting that negative input in. Like it's in the form where they're kind of like, oh, I'm supporting you, like, oh, go do that. And you're thinking, oh, that's a good friend, like they riding for me. But again, like they're in the corner holding their phone, they're like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with me.
The
But
blind
if you're the
leading the
one who
blind.
told me, who got me riled up and like, oh yeah, you need to get your get, you gonna let that slide, you gonna. Yes, it was like those type of people are not people they should be surrounded. They should be surrounded
Exactly.
by.
And if you can stop it right now while everybody's still young and in school, like that's the best time. Like take those signs that you're seeing in your friends, because when it goes farther down the line, it can turn into so much more serious things. Like, yeah, for sure. Take it while you can.
I feel like with like a lot of stuff that's been going on in our area, like I feel like the people that you surround yourself with, that's why I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Like
your
bad
friends are going
influences.
to influence you to do.
Right.
I just want to give like my take on the scripture. I feel like the first part, Ephesians 4:26, and don't sin by letting your anger control you. I feel like anger has fully to do with the devil. I feel like that's the devil testing you, and also God testing you to see which side you're gonna choose. It's always two sides. Go with God, pray about it, heal from it, or go with the devil, act on it, sin from it. The second part, Ephesians 4. No, it was still in 26. Sorry. Don't let the sun go down while you're still angry. A lot of us, I'm pretty sure if something happens, a lot of us are not gonna be able to get over it by sundown. It might take weeks. Might take days, weeks, months, years. But I feel like you should never hold a grudge. A grudge is also, I feel like, a sin, because like you also have this hatred towards somebody. When, yes, unforgiveness in your heart, which God tells you like love in one another. Even if someone does you wrong, love in one another, because God is going to take it up in his own hands. And 27, for anger will be the foothold of the devil. Like I said, I feel like anger fully has to do with the devil, and you just have to choose what side you want to be on.
For sure, and I'm gonna add on to that with when it comes with anger, I feel like that'll also tie into like holding grudges. When you hold grudges, you're basically giving yourself a reason every day to wake up and be upset and be angry. And if you're battling with anger towards somebody and you're like realistically, if you're angry at somebody, the chances of them really being as angry at you as you are at them, very low chances. Most of the time you're angry at somebody, they're probably not even thinking twice about you the next day.
One-sided.
Exactly. And so you're waking up, you're angry every day, but then you start to influence other people to be angry. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if I wake up angry every day, say Aaliyah did something to me. I wake up every day angry at Aaliyah.
All he did.
Dang, Aaliyah ain't wash no dishes. Dang, Aaliyah ain't do this. Aaliyah ain't do that. Then I'm like, well, Caden's here too. I might as well say something to Caden. Caden, why you ain't go do the dishes? Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? And yes, it can get more serious than that, but that's a calm example of, you got to wake up. You got to give yourself something to be happy about every morning instead of sad, and angry.
A lot of times too, when you harbor anger, bitterness, and things like that, we tend to miss out on a lot of what God has to offer for us. We block our blessings. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, if you're carrying that over, you definitely could be blocking a blessing because you're not open to receive what God has for you in your heart at the end of the day. There was a young lady that I work with. I was her manager. And all she did was talked about me, went to other management on me, higher management. Oh, he's this, he's that. Basically just talked about me or whatever. And, I kind of, it's like, well, she always talking about me. I don't really like her, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, I got to keep my job. So at the end of the day, one day I come in the break room, she's crying. I'm like, what's she crying for? You know what I'm saying? What's she crying? But then I was like, well, let me be nice. So walked up to her, hey, what's going on? Why you crying? Everything all right? She at that time told me, hey, I don't have food for my kid. You know what I'm saying? She has a baby. I have a baby. So at that point, I'm just like, okay, God, I hear you. I'm going to listen. Let me do what I got to do. So I gave her money at that time. A couple of months down the line, things go on. We good now at this point. And I'm sitting there in the break room, flat broke, you know what I'm saying? And didn't have money for lunch. And she walks up to me and says, I'm going to buy lunch for you today. And she gave me money. So I would have blocked a blessing had I not listened to God at that time. Had I carried anger, had I carried bitterness, that would have been an opportunity for me not to do that. And that also, open up joy in her heart. You know what I'm saying? We was good after that. So.
A scripture to tie in what Earth just said. 1 Peter 3, verse 9. Don't repay evil for evil. Don't retaliate with insults when people insult you. If I just thought about, she always talks mess about me. I don't want to give her anything. I don't like her. When it came time for him and he needed help, he would have been. Wait, sorry. Let me start over. If Unc one day just saw her when she was like had no food for her child, and was like, no, she's always talking about me. I'm not going to help her. That would have been doing evil for evil. But instead, he chose to help her and follow the will of God, which you did the right thing, Unc.
Right, because you would have been hungry. Yeah. I was hungry for you, just listening. Oh, man.
She might would have ate in front of you.
Right, yeah, that would have been sickening.
The next part says, pay them back with a blessing, which is what Unc did. He paid her back with a blessing. He helped her, and she helped him both ways, and he did not block his blessing. The next part says, this is what God has called you to do, and he will grant you his blessing. I strongly doubt Unc got a blessing that day when he helped her.
For sure. All right, and with that, we are going to go into some final thoughts. It's going to be just open convo. Everybody go around, give us a takeaway of what you took from the story today in the lesson. And yeah, we're going to close it out after that.
I've learned a lot today. Be nice to people. Revenge is not the goal. It's not the ending. Being nice to people will give you blessings, and you will not block your blessing if you're nice. God will bless you even more than what you bless that person with. And taking revenge is only the devil. You have two sides. Go with God, heal. Go with the devil, and sin. You choose.
Okay. Yeah, I took a lot from the story. I think that I learned that revenge is not our job. It's to God. You have to have forgiveness in your heart because that's what Jesus did for all of us. And yeah, I think that instead of trying to retaliate and grow, it leads to, like she said, you're blocking your blessing, and it leads to bitterness and anger. And to want to live like that, that's not of God, and that's not feelings that God wants us to have in our spirit. So yeah, I think you need to learn how to forgive, and maybe not forget. I mean, forgetting is hard, forgive, and like she said, heal. And just
move on, forgive and move on, for sure.
I would say I learned a lot, basically, that like revenge isn't always necessary, or in some cases it's just not necessary at all, because you gotta like let God handle most of the things that happen in your life. But
For sure.
all things.
You're allowed to feel like multiple emotions, but like at the end of the day, it's not really revenge. Is not the right.
I learned a lot today too, but like the main part that I was really focusing on was checking up on your friends and like just trying to talk more to people that you like don't usually talk to, and try to be a good friend, and just for sure. I'll say I learned a lot. I learned that again, keep checking up on your friends, because even it's not only about your friends being sad, it's about your friends being angry as well. Like, you want to make sure that all of their feelings, everything is in check, not just about them always being happy and whatnot, but you also have to make sure that they want to make good decisions, the right decisions. And you also want to make sure you surround yourself around friends that also believe and trust in God. It builds stronger around yourself as well. Yeah, basically that's what I learned. I learned to let God handle all your problems, because you're just a human being. You can't do it all by yourself. You weren't designed to do it all by yourself. So yeah.
I learned that it's better to not like hold anything against anybody, but if you do, don't try not to act on it either.
I think what I took most from this is to forgive, and yeah, just let God handle it.
All right, so Unc signing out. Let go, let God. Let God. At the end of the day, we're going to let God do it. We're going to let go of any anger, bitterness, anything like that. That's how we're going to handle it.